About a half hour from now, roughly 30 minutes, Donald Trump will deliver a speech on rebuilding the military. I want to know how he's going to pay for it. David Malpass is with us. He's one of several economic advisors to the Trump campaign. David, welcome back. Good to see you.
Morning, Stuart.
Now,
nice to see you.
He's going to rebuild the military.
He is, to make it stronger.
And I think he's going to tell us how he's going to pay for it. I know you can't reveal how he's going to pay for it, but give us some clue.
So there's going to be offsets, but the bigger focus is on how do you make it stronger. That's what we ought to be talking about. We've had...
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Offsets. That's how he's going to pay for it. Well, that means spending cuts elsewhere?
That means cost cutting elsewhere. You know the government is really bloated in lots of areas. And so one of the themes of his campaign has been to have an effective government, a government that runs more like a business. That ought to demonstrate itself throughout.
In your lifetime, how many candidates have said, I'm going to cut that waste from that spending spree?
You know, they all say that, but not many of them, in fact, maybe none of them, have actually been businessmen that look at the bottom line, look at the budget, that make a profit. How many of our presidents have actually made profit, lots of profit in their lives?
I'm not sure, but I don't think there's many of them.
Prior to being in office. Now, some of them make a bundle after they're in office, but that's a different story.
Okay. Donald Trump talking about the Fed. Listen to this and roll some tape.
Well, they're keeping the rates artificially low so the economy doesn't go down, so that Obama can say he did a good job. That's the only reason that the rates are so low. So they're keeping the rates artificially low so Obama can, you know, go out, play golf after January and say that he did a good job. But it's a very false economy. We don't have a false economy. We have a bad economy, everyone understands that, but it's a false economy. The only reason the rates are low is so he can leave office and he can say, see, I told you.
Okay, he's saying Janet Yellen financed Obama's failure. This morning, or late last night, Hillary responded saying, hey, Donald Trump shouldn't even be talking about the Fed at all. What does David Malpass say about that?
You know, we have a wild situation. Rates have been near zero throughout the Obama administration since late 2008. And so I think we have to talk about this. What they're doing isn't working, and so we need a policy that actually works to promote growth. I think the Fed's on the wrong track. And part of that
is... And it's okay to talk about it.
You can talk about it, and candidates should talk about it. It's one thing, you know, the Fed needs to have independence of what it's doing. But on the other hand, if you've had this slow a growth, we're down, the first half was below 1%, and yet the Fed is saying it's being stimulative. So that's worthy of discussion of human beings. Everybody in the country should be talking about this. And it hurts elderly. Remember that part of the problem is you simply can't make money on savings. So we're benefiting people who borrow lots of money. Today's Wall Street Journal had two stories right on the front page about how CDs and money market funds aren't paying what they
don't pay anything.
And the European companies are doing negative interest rates. How does that work for people that save money?
It doesn't work for people who save money. Quickly on this one, Mark Cuban told Neil Cavuto, our colleague yesterday, he has, and I'm quoting now, no doubt the market tanks if Donald Trump wins. Go.
The market's going to look at growth and earnings. Trump is a lot better than Clinton for growth and earnings.
You don't think it'll tank if Trump wins?
We've had really low volatility. So one of the issues, as you go across a presidential election, you're going to have volatility. We should be prepared for that. But the critical point is who's got a better policy for growth in the long run? Trump does.
Okay. David, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.